What's up, everybody? It's Alex from Heavy New York. We are back at Irving Plaza in the dressing room, and today I'm here with Martijn from Delain. Thank you so much. It's great to have you here. I mean, the latest record is Moonbathers.
Yes, correct.
And, it came out in 2016, so it's been a while now. Do you have, like, a conclusion on that record cycle so far?
It made us so rich. Really, really cool. I drive a Porsche. No. It was a really, really good album cycle. We did a lot of shows, a lot of touring. Fortunately, the fans really liked the album because, of course, they decide they're our boss, so to say. Because of them we can do what we do, and it has been really grateful. Yeah, so it was really. Yeah, I'm really looking back with a very good, positive feeling.
Absolutely. Now, being that Delain, what I think is so great about you guys is every instrument counts. There are some bands that are more guitar-driven, more vocal-driven, but, we always appreciate the keyboards, the guitar, Charlotte's vocals. What comes first, really, in the songwriting process?
That differs from song to song. The way we write, somebody comes with a concept. If it's Charlotte, there's only vocals. If it's me, it's a big arrangement, including guitars, drums, everything. But I'm not the best guitar player, so the riffs are a little bit more simplistic. But so it depends a little bit from song to song. But it's important to give every instrument the right spot, and we like contrast in our music. So to create contrast, you need a lot of different elements.
Absolutely. Now, as a lot of people know, you were formerly in Within Temptation, and what I think is great is that both bands have really great keys and stuff and everything else. So whether it was the past with Within Temptation or with Delain, was there like a different mind frame that you were going in with each project?
With each album, actually.
Really?
Yeah. Each album you think, and now I want to do something else. Although, of course, you have to keep it in the vein of what it is. Everybody will recognize Delain because it's my style which is in there, and my style was in Within Temptation in the beginning as well. Although I was really young, I was like 17 or 16 when we started Within Temptation, so I had to develop a style. But also, for example, Charlotte's voice is very recognizable, and I think this combination really makes a Delainish vibe, Delainish sound.
And by having a distinct sound with Delain, do you have a formula that you prefer to work with Delain and stick with each album, or do you kind of like to step outside the box and experiment a little bit?
I never consciously work like that. It's all about taste, and what I like in music I make is drama. I like, as I already said, contrast in the music, so soft parts, hard parts. I like riffing, and I like pop structure, so the songs all have a verse, chorus, middle part. So it's a pop song, but then it's kind of in a vibe of a metal song.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, you have like very sensitive songs like "The Other Side" off the April Rain record.
That's true. Yeah.
And then you have like heavier songs like "Where Is the Blood?"
Yeah.
And so, is that a different emotional feeling when you're playing those, depending on?
Absolutely, of course it is. But in all songs, one thing comes back, and that's the element of drama. We don't really have happy songs. We have happy. How do you say? Lighter, positive sides to it, but it's never. You won't do Carnival with us. It's heavy, serious subjects, heavy stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of bands that come from the Netherlands with you guys and Epica, Within Temptation, all different types of bands of all styles. So coming from that area of the world, is it a little bit easier to start a band?
I would almost say it's harder.
Really?
Because you have to prove yourself, and there's another band, And I also don't understand why all those bands came from this side of the globe. Because when I started Within Temptation, I was not so much there yet. Not in that genre anyway. You got The Gathering back then. Paradise Lost was a little bit with the operatic voice. Nightwish you had in Finland, of course. But there was not so much there yet, and I don't know why, but we had a really strong scene, and a lot of bands came forward, but why, I have no clue. But yeah, so you have to prove yourself, and also in the mainstream there is absolutely no support, no ground for that.
Are you serious?
Yes, this is a niche thing, and that's fine by me. I don't care.
I heard like in Sweden, like they're playing like Children of Bodom on like
Yeah,
daytime
in Sweden
radio.
they do, but in the Netherlands they don't.
Really?
No, in the Netherlands you can, if there's distorted guitar, you can forget about it in mainstream in the Netherlands. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, that's how it works.
That's so sad. I'd figure because the Netherlands like has a new metal festival like every week there.
Yeah, but the big ones actually, it's really hard to do. We had the Dynamo like 20 years ago, 15 years ago perhaps even. And after that, it was really difficult to have the big festival. The most big festivals are in Germany. You have one really big one, Graspop in Belgium.
Yep.
Then you have Forta Rock in the Netherlands, but this only started a couple of years back. So it's difficult in the Netherlands. I don't know why, but that's how it is. Yeah.
Oh, wow, I learned something new today. I would think that being the home of so many bands, like it would be like Finland, almost like.
No, Finland indeed. If you turn on the radio, you can listen to that stuff. In Sweden, the same. But no, for us, it's more difficult. But I have to say, our club culture is strong. So we have really good venues, and we got very loyal fans. So in that way, we are actually pretty spoiled.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, two more questions I have is you've toured with a variety of bands, I've noticed. You know, you're touring with Camelot, which I think is cool, but you know, you've played with heavier bands and more melodic bands. So have you ever had to like adjust your set list or?
Yeah, that's always the question. You know, if you it's like in soccer or American football. That are you adapting to circumstance, or are you trying to, how do you say, be yourself and try to? That's always difficult. We tried both tactics, so to say. If I think it's a little bit of both. We always try to stick to ourselves, but we do, if it's a really heavy festival we play, the setlist will adjust a little bit to that. But,
okay.
Yeah, you have to stick to yourself, of course, because there's a flow in the setlist you want to have, which always works, and you want to stick to that because that's the way you can show the best way who you are, and also what the people want to hear, of course.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the final question I have is, now that Moonbathers is 2 years old, could we be expecting anything new from Delain, and like maybe a follow-up?
Yeah, that's the plan. We're riding right now. We're not, because we're touring the U.S. and Canada, of course. But when we're back, we will continue riding. It's a little bit quiet on purpose because we want to focus on riding, and the plan is to release next year. So let's hope that works out.
Excellent. I look forward to hearing it. Well, I want to thank you so much for
My
your
pleasure.
time. Everybody, this is Alex with Delain at Irving Plaza. Be sure to catch them on their tour with Camelot and Battle Beast. New Delain coming very soon. This is Alex from Heavy New York, and we'll see you next time.